You're listening to a Frequency Podcast Network production.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Welcome to Tuesday. My name is Brock.
I'm Dalby. You excited for NHL season?
Yeah, baby.
We are going to welcome hockey back in a little bit, but I know, did the Leafs play tonight? I haven't looked at the schedule.
No, they play tomorrow, actually.
Oh, so you got an extra day to sweat it out?
Sweat it out, baby. What are you talking about? This is our year.
Okay, that's what I wanted to ask. I wanted to ask how you're feeling as the season is about to kick off for real. The games are about to matter. Do you have it in your heart, your loins, your soul? This is going to be a good year for the Leafs.
I have it in my heart every year.
I hate to tell you, they are actually going to finish under 500 this year.
And what gives you that inkling?
They're going to go 36, 38, and 8, finishing
Where are you
dead
pulling
last.
These numbers from?
Except for they're going to be just 3 points ahead of the Canadians. And I learned this because one of the greatest things that we have at our disposal as a society today is technology and information. You are familiar with a little franchise called EA Sports, EA NHL.
Yeah.
Well, they just released EA NHL 25 at the end of September, and the defending champion Florida Panthers got a hold of the game and decided just 2 days ago they were going to run a season simulation to see how the Panthers would do in their first season as defending champions. They found that they were going to go 47-29, finishing third place in the Atlantic. Good for them.
Well, that's
Great
bullshit because I've already played a full season of NHL 25 and the Leafs won.
No, see, but you played it. This is a simulation. This is letting statistics, data, AI take the wheel, unbiased, unblemished. It has the Maple Leafs finishing 36-38 on the season.
You can't trust simulations. You can't trust robots. You can't trust any of that stuff. There's going to be a lot of human error in this season. There's going to be a lot of injuries that I'm sure they didn't take into account, and I don't see it happening.
I just wanted to tell you that even the robots think the Leafs suck this year.
The Leafs have 3 guys that are 38 years old. We got some crafty veterans on there. That's what everybody needs.
That's the positive. You're taking that as a positive for this. We have 3 guys over 38 years old.
Yeah.
You're holding that flag high.
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting strategy.
We've got more veterans than anyone else.
You sound like the Red Wings just before we went into our 8-year playoff slump.
Oh, no. The Red Wings is probably more of what you're talking about over there.
Oh, Red Wings finished 5th. They qualified for the playoffs according to the simulation.
It's a fucking simulation.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
In London, Ontario, a city councillor is under fire after appearing to drink a beer during a town council meeting recently.
Just cracked a can and decided to sit down.
Apparently, he was out of town on vacation, but still jumped in on Zoom.
Okay.
And if you text beer to 762-555 or check the podcast links, I'll send you the video here. Watch this.
I respect his dedication, though.
You see this guy?
Yeah. So he's okay. So he's he's already sipping.
I just don't see how I can allow.
It's like a pint glass.
Yeah.
Like he's not even cracked a beer in his room.
You see him kind of wave his hand at someone, and then he comes back here, pint in hand.
Oh, he's in a bar.
Takes a
in the
sippy
corner.
sippy. I don't know if it's a bar, a hotel room. He did say he was out of town, so
I think based on that pint glass and the way he's got his hand in the air, he looks like he's flagging down a server.
he's calling down a server.
Hey, let me grab one more.
Either that or someone around him is pouring him a drink. It's clearly a beer.
There's no doubt about that, right? Tall glass, amber beverage, white foamy top, well poured by whoever did it. You don't think so?
There's a lot of head on there. I'm just saying, if this city councilor is pouring that beer, we cannot trust him. If he pours beer the way he makes decisions,
that's a disqualifier.
That was
for you?
a rush of a pour.
There's no way you're voting for this guy in the next election.
I get you're on the job, man. But at least respect the process.
What would have made it worse, him actually pouring the beer on camera?
Well, the thing is they've asked him about it, and they're like, were you drinking a beer during town council the other night?
Right.
And he says, it might have been a beer. It might have been a 0 beer. I can't remember.
He can't remember.
He's taking the stance that he doesn't know if it was an actual beer or a near beer or not.
Forgive me if I'm making assumptions, but wouldn't that suggest that it was in fact a full effect beer if he can't remember?
I don't know how he's planning on getting away with this, but he just keeps shooting himself in the foot.
I know people who drink and ate beers. Not one of them has ever been like, Oh, man. I had 6 Budweiser Prohibitions the other day. Can't remember a thing.
Are you allowed to drink near beers at work? Like, obviously, you're not supposed to just crack a beer on the job site. People do it all the time, though. But would it be better, like, if you hired some guy to do work at your house, and you looked out back,
right,
and you saw him drinking Bud Zeros, does that make a difference?
I mean, I'd probably ask him if he had to leave early to get to a meeting or something like that. Like, if you can't make it through the workday without even just a non-alcoholic beer, I have some concerns.
I mean, they sell them at A&W now, though.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. I mean, I guess that's the thing, right? As much as it's difficult for me to understand because I have never enjoyed the taste of beer. I drink beer for a specific purpose, and it's not the flavor. But you're a beer guy. Like, do you ever just wish you were drinking a beer in the daytime but without the alcohol?
I mean, hell yeah, brother.
Why did you start looking? Are you hiding NAs in the studio?
Who wouldn't want to crack a cold one at work is what I'm saying. If we all had the opportunity to do it, we'd do it for sure.
See, but I think if I'm going to crack a cold one at work, it's because I want to get drinking. It's not because I wanted the cool, refreshing taste of the mountains turning blue.
Or it's because you hate your job.
Right.
One of the two. Yeah.
I want to forget what I'm doing here, like this counselor at town council.
I mean, that could be his whole next thing, like when he's trying to get elected higher in town council. It's like a beer for you, a beer for me, a beer for the city.
Although I will also say, like, in his defense, if this is a real beer, I know early in your radio career, you had a bit of a news stint and you had to cover some town council meetings. They can get pretty boring.
Dude, that's the town councilor you want to talk to.
That's the guy you want to interview.
That's the guy that's going to give you the story.
No, when's Tom back in town? I got some questions for that guy.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Someone did bring up a good point on the text line here, saying that town council meetings would be way more attended if everyone could drink.
Oh, absolutely. And not only just from like coming to watch like the citizenry, but I feel like more counselors would show up to your meetings if they knew they were allowed to have a drink.
Even if at like town hall meetings, if like the public could come in and have a beer and sit there.
Open bar.
I would watch all of that.
2 drink minimum.
I'd pay pay-per-view prices to watch that stuff. People speaking their real opinions.
Be way more likely to do my civic duty if I knew I could have a couple of pops before I got up on the microphone.
It's a weird thought, but are there jobs where you can drink on the job? Like you're allowed to drink? I mean, I guess a brewmaster would be one of them, right?
I was going to say brewmaster if you're at a distillery or a vineyard, that sort of thing. Although, you're not drinking for sport there, right? Like, you're just having, like, you're taste testing. You're having little sips.
Well, it's part of your job to know the drink, right?
Exactly.
Sommelier, technically.
Sommelier, I don't know if you're allowed to drink on the job, though. Like, I feel like you have to do your drinking in the off-season, and then you show up game ready.
You pre-game before work? Is that what it is?
Sommeliers drink hard off the clock, but they got to know and be sober during the day.
Oh, what am I talking about? Salespeople. Anyone who works in sales drinks on the job on the regular because you're schmoozing clients.
Little liquid lunch, right? Let me take you out to dinner and drinks, and we'll talk some business.
That might be one of the only ones, because, I mean, go to Boston Pizza at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock today. You're going to see a lot of work trucks there.
Oh, yeah.
Like, technically, probably shouldn't, but, I mean, I know a lot of the fellas like to get in a couple pints at lunch, but, I mean, salespeople, on the other hand...
That's right.
It's encouraged to do that kind of stuff.
That's right. Well, yeah, you want to ply them with food and drink to get their sort of guard down so that you can hit them with the sales approach.
Mm-hmm.
Are you asking in the way of, like... allowed to openly drink or could get away with drinking?
I mean, more the openly drink, because, like, anyone can sneak a beer if they want to.
Well, because I was going to say, any job where a thermos doesn't look out of place probably is a place you could drink at work.
Well, I mean, Mike just texted and he said bartenders sometimes take shots with customers.
Yeah, although most times, especially I find with female bartenders, they'll be like, we're not allowed.
Yeah.
Same with servers. Like, I'll see guys, when I was DJing in college, I would see guys want to buy the female server shots all the time. And they was we can't drink at work. It's not frowned upon.
I mean, I see roofers all the time having beers. I know they're not supposed to.
Roofers are always the exception. We've talked about this on the show before.
Wild to like have a couple pops and then get up on the roof and use a nail gun.
What would be the worst trade to be drinking on the job? It's electrician, right? Like having a pint and then just dealing with current would probably be a bad idea.
I mean, I'm honestly surprised that we haven't gotten to the point where they don't have like a blow box on some people's tools. Like you got to blow into the saw before you use it. I wouldn't be surprised if in the next few years,
if y'all don't smarten up, this is what the future looks like.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
we love boobs, yes we do. We love boobs, how about you? We love boobs and we need your help to help us raise some money. Our 50-50 jackpot is sitting at $43,855 as of right now.
It's been cool just watching it like slowly creep up over the course of the show. I mean, nothing slow about what it did the first week. We started 1 week ago today at $3,000. We were like, we're doing a 50-50, $3,000 jackpot to start. And we've gone on to sell $40,000 in tickets.
I had an idea because yesterday I came across on my Samsung TV, there's a Fear Factor channel.
Oh, I've seen that.
And
yeah.
I was watching episodes of Fear Factor yesterday, and then on one of them, it was a classic episode where they had to eat bull testicles.
Oh, God, that show is so rough.
And I thought, maybe we could do our first challenge here. I don't know if anyone's got the hookup.
You're going to eat a bull testicle?
Bull testicle?
Hell yeah.
If we raise $60,000,
You'll eat a bull testicle.
we'll eat a bull testicle.
You'll eat a bull testicle.
Me and you.
Why? You said it's one.
You said hell yeah 2 seconds ago when I said the idea.
When you said you were going to eat a bull testicle. Yeah.
Do you know how
I'm
big these things are?
fully supportive of your endeavors.
I'm not going to waste it, so we split it in half. Both you and I. If we raise $60,000, we eat a bull ball.
You want to split a ball?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, you just finished saying how gross they look.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like that entices people to want to donate money. People like watching us suffer.
Can I shave my beard or something?
You said hell yeah as soon
Yeah.
as I said the idea.
Because you made it sound like this was reenactment, Crime Stoppers. I'm Brock. I watched Fear Factor. I saw them eat bull testicles. I think we should do that for the show. And I said, hell yeah, you should. You should.
So
you should eat
Hold
it.
up for a second. I don't mean to call you out on the spot. Do you not want to raise money for charity?
No, that's not fair.
Are we not a team? Do we not do this show together? It's not just the Brock show, right? It's the Brock and
Dalby show.
Exactly.
Yeah. Brother, come over here. Huddle up with me for a second. Nobody listen. I'm gonna puke. You know that, right?
and people would pay to see
I
that.
almost puked when we ate raw eggs that one time.
If we can, dude, we're at 43 grand right now. If we can get to 60,
60 grand.
$60,000
So by when?
by the end of the week.
Friday?
Yeah.
So like 9 a.m. Friday, show's over, we're not at 60. Where are we even going to get a bull
Well,
testicle?
I feel like someone's got to hook up here. There's tons of farmers and people. I know there's butcher shops that are probably listening, right? Someone's got to have a hookup for a ball.
Anybody got a 3-balled bull out there that can spare one?
Yeah. If we find the ball, will you do it?
Okay, hang on. Because I don't want it to ever be said that I'm not supportive of the charity. So if we raise $60,000 by Friday and find somebody who can provide us with a bull testicle to eat.
Yeah.
And third caveat, we have to find a healthy and safe way to prepare it.
Sure.
We're not just raw dogging it.
Sure.
If you meet those 3 criteria, I'm gonna puke, man. Fine.
Do you hate charity?
Fine, I'll do it.
Yeah?
Oh,
You're in?
Gross.
Shake on it.
Shake my hand.
Now, the real question is, who's got the ball?
Who's got a ball? Who's got a ball guy?
Who's got a ball guy? We're looking for a hookup right
We have
now.
so many people on this show that are like, we got a gas station guy and we got a this guy. Where's our ball guy at?
762-555. Anyone know where we can get a ball?
That's step 1. If we don't have a ball, we can't do this.
All right. Let us know if you can get us the hookup And if we raise $60,000, we'll do it.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
First off, I want to say thank you to everyone who has offered to get us various balls.
Yeah, it's crazy how many of you just have access to excess testicles. Just putting that out there.
If you missed it, we came up with the idea that if we raise $60,000 by the end of the week, we will eat a bull testicle.
Which, by the way, Pat texted in and just said, stupid idea. And I don't know that he's wrong.
If it sells tickets, then... but we do have good friend of the show, Tommy Hunter, on the phone. Tommy, you can get us a bull ball?
Oh, you want a testicle? I can get you a testicle. I can get you a testicle tomorrow afternoon.
Okay, hang on now. Hang on, Tommy. Slow down a little bit. We're still trying to come to grips with this whole thing.
If you're looking for some balls, I got a guy.
So what we're thinking, Tommy, is if we can get the jackpot to $60,000...
60 grand.
In the next few days, we will eat... Well, I put Dalby's balls on the line.
You keep saying we on this one.
We will eat a bull testicle if you can get it for us.
Oh, I got a guy. You want a ball? I'll get you a ball tomorrow. No problem at all.
Tommy, how do you even cook something like this?
Oh, I don't know. I'm going to figure that out for you, though.
He's got to read some cookbooks. There's a Joy of Cooking in the back. I'm sure it has something.
I'm going to call my boy over at Pig and Olive, Al. I guarantee you we'll have a nice big nut for you by tomorrow if that's what you want.
Okay. Tommy.
Tommy's the guy, man.
I'm gonna look further into it, but I'm gonna smoke that ball for you. I'm gonna bring her over nice and saucy. Don't you worry.
$60,000 raising money for charity. $60,000 raising money for charity. Sorry, I'm just trying to come to grips with all this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's something new for me too, but I'm sure it's gonna be tasty.
I'm glad we could all share this experience together, Tommy.
You just let me know when you want that ball over there.
If it goes well for us and we enjoy it, could we see this maybe coming on the menu at Smoke and Barrel anytime soon?
Oh, definitely not. No.
I think that's maybe something I'm also worried about. Like, what if this unlocks my new favorite food? Where am I supposed to get more?
You know what? You tell me it's delicious, and maybe we talk about it as a Brock and Dalby menu item at Smoke and Barrel.
We could be doing some big things this week.
Bad balls, the big special this week.
Awesome, Tommy. Appreciate you tracking down a bull testicle for us, brother.
I'm already on it, buddy.
All right, there we go. We've got the ball. Now all we need to do is hit our goal. All right, we are at $43,955. If we get to $60,000 by Friday, we're putting our balls on the line. I had the line.
3 criteria that I thought was enough to prevent this from happening. 1, we had to find a supplier. Apparently, Tommy can do that. 2, it had to be prepared and cooked properly.
He said he'll smoke it.
He says he'll figure that out.
He's got the smoker.
So all that's left between us and a Rocky Mountain prairie oyster live on the radio is $60,000.
They call him Tommy Hunter for a reason, because he can hunt these things down.
We just hit $44,000. So we are officially $16,000 away.
If you want to see us eat a bull ball, all you need to do is get that jackpot up to 60 grand. You can go to bcc5050.ca or text the word to 762-555. Remember, every time you text to 762-555, you get the link straight to the site, and you can buy the tickets starting as low as $10, $25, $50, $100, however many tickets you want to get.
But also remember, it's okay to wait until Saturday to buy your tickets. That's fun.
I want to see this jackpot get as high as we possibly can. All right, and I'm willing to go full Fear Factor for it.
Oh my God, people are buying more tickets. This is gonna happen.
Let's get this jackpot up to $60,000. We got 40 grand in a week alone.
Yeah.
In a few days, I think we can get to 60.
16 grand.
No problem at all.
$16,000 in ticket sales in roughly 3 days.
Come on, you're the spearhead of this charity, man.
I want to see the jackpot go really, really high. I want to see as much money go into research and care and resources for people afflicted with breast cancer as I possibly can. And if that means we have to eat bull balls live on the radio
There we
to
go.
do it, then
He's coming
so
around.
be it.
He's coming around, guys. He's coming around.
You know what's going to be coming around? The bull ball when I puke on Friday. But I'll do it, goddammit.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Pretty scary situation south of the border as Hurricane Milton is supposed to be hitting Florida. It's supposed to be a Category 5 storm.
Dude, everything I've been reading about this, like I was reading some stuff last night and into the morning, it's like the air pressure of the hurricane, which is something they measure to show like how strong it's going to be.
Okay.
They think that this hurricane is approaching like the mathematical maximum that it could be based on what we know scientifically.
Damn.
It's nuts, dude.
And of course, people in Florida are not taking it serious as they always do with hurricanes.
Same crap, different day.
Remember, was it like back in 2017, the governor had to warn people not to fire their guns into the hurricane?
Stop shooting at the hurricane. Yes, I do vividly remember that.
I think one of the things is the name Hurricane Milton. I mean, it makes me think of Milton Bradley, like toys.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about it. It makes me think of Milton Wadhams. The dude from The Office Space.
Oh.
With the red, I believe you took my stapler.
The guy that just wants a stapler.
That dude's name is Milton, and that's all I'm thinking of is this big glasses guy coming in Florida being like, give me my stapler.
It's weird how they choose the names for the hurricanes. Like, they have them already listed out for the next, like, what is it, like 6 or 7 of them. They've got Hurricane Milton. It's supposed to be Hurricane Nadine is next. Then Hurricane Oscar, Hurricane Patty, Hurricane Raphael, Hurricane Sarah, Tara, Valerie, William.
None of those are tough names. Like, Hurricane Nadine sounds like someone who would be a real whiz in the kitchen.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Hurricane Oscar just sounds like he'd be grumpy at work on a Monday.
I think the thing is you're right. They do need more serious names for their hurricanes. Like, I don't know. What are some badass names? Like Hurricane Damien or something.
Hurricane Butch.
Hurricane Luther or Hannibal or...
I don't know why. Hurricane Luther doesn't strike fear into me.
No?
There's just something about it. He's just wearing like a cheap gold chain.
Hurricane Zeus.
Hurricane Zeus would be horrifying. Start naming hurricanes after like mythical figures. Hurricane Thor, stuff like that.
Hurricane Cthulhu or something like that.
If Hurricane Cthulhu is barreling down the eastern seaboard onto Florida, people are evacuating.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
The Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Richard Simmons, they recently had his burial, and apparently, according to his family, he was buried in his workout clothes to help, quote, help the saints and the angels get into shape.
You know what? Honestly, doesn't that feel fitting? I don't think I've ever seen Richard Simmons in anything other than a red tank top and striped shorts.
I get that, but like, I'm not a religious person or anything, but if I go to heaven and I still have to work out, screw that.
No, if I have to go to heaven and wear a 3-piece suit, screw that. I'd rather jog with Richard Simmons than have to wear a tux.
I don't want to have to work out in heaven. I hate doing it on earth.
This is the Brock and Dalby Podcast.
Today is a beautiful day because the NHL season is officially back.
Today is a beautiful day, but it's only going to be beautiful tomorrow for about 50% of people.
I say, welcome back to hockey.
Welcome back.
Absolutely. It's a good feeling because, like, preseason, you've said it on the show many times, preseason just doesn't scratch the same itch. It's better than nothing. But it's not until today that it really feels like, all right, let's go.
I mean, welcome back to not still being used to hearing the Hockey Night in Canada theme song on TSN.
Welcome back.
It makes me mad every time I hear it.
Still makes no sense.
Yeah.
How do you not fight for that?
I mean, speaking of TSN, welcome back to getting blacked out by them every time Ottawa and Toronto play at the same time.
Welcome back.
Somehow, no matter where you live in, like, Eastern Canada, it's just like, no, you can't watch this game. Also, speaking of TV panels, welcome back to getting to see the 87 different looks Elliot Friedman's going to give us over the next 6 months.
Welcome back.
I mean, if you want to talk about that panel, welcome back to hearing Ron McLean make some of the greatest and also cheesiest poetry segues on Hockey Night in Canada. Some of them you're like, that's a good one. The others you're like, all right, a bit of a stretch, bud.
Oh, no, the king of it is, and I know he mostly does Oiler games, but welcome back to Gene Principe giving you dad jokes you never knew you needed in your life.
And that hair.
Yeah.
Oh, that hair is amazing, too. Welcome back to Habs fans proclaiming that they have the most Stanley Cups to compensate for their team sucking again this year.
Welcome back.
I mean, to play devil's advocate, welcome back to every Toronto Maple Leafs fan swearing this is the year.
Welcome back.
You could also say welcome back to Austin Matthews' receding hairline getting further and further back.
Welcome back.
There's something really great about saying welcome back to something that's disappearing.
Welcome back to watching Matthew Tkachuk just chew the hell out of his mouth guard every time he plays.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to just letting a bunch of 20-year-olds ruin your day for the next 6 to 8 months.
This is valid. Welcome back to hearing the same interview every single intermission, pucks in deep and lots of sniffles.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to the referees starting to call as many penalties as they can to guarantee they get that mic time.
Welcome back.
And welcome back, bandwagoners. It's been a few years since the NHL's had a new team. I've already started seeing people be like, Utah's my team now.
Welcome back.
Brother, I was there from day one, all right? How dare you call me into question?
If you're jumping ship and becoming a Utah fan, you're a coward.
At least wait till they have a team name to pretend you like them.
For more Brock and Dalby, tune in weekday mornings 5:30 to 9.
The Brock and Dalby podcast is brought to you by badshop.ca, the Brock and Dalby merch store. With all proceeds going to the Canadian Cancer Society.